really tough road loss in the division for the Ravens, and compounded by the fact they lost their starting quarterback in Lamar Jackson. But the Ravens defense, particularly in the second half, really stepped up and played well, as they have done all year. And the Ravens, yet again, had an almost come from behind win. Obviously, Andrews and Bateman, it was great to see Bateman continue to improve and be involved in the offense. Tyler Huntley did an excellent job. He was 27 of 38 for 270 and a touchdown. And he had some tough looks and was able to get the ball to Andrews and Bateman on some big plays. When you look at the film, the first one's a perfect example. This is an all-out blitz. This is going to be a 7-man total pressure, 4-cross man. This is a lot for a young quarterback to recognize. He knows he's got to get the ball off quickly. Now, fortunately, they've got routes on the top and the bottom that are hitches to go with verticals on the inside routes on this 2x2. And he's got Bateman at the bottom. And what Bateman we've seen do time and time again, this is an excellent job of getting the ball off, getting it to Bateman, and then he makes the first man miss and turns what would have been a 4 or 5 yard gain into a 20-yard gain. So an excellent read versus heavy pressure by Huntley. Then on this next one, Andrews, you're going to see he sets the bunch at the top. Now, we've seen this route time and time again by Lamar Jackson. You see Andrews at the top of the route in the bunch. At the bottom, Watkins is going to go vertical. And we've seen Andrews do this time and again. He's going across the field, again, versus man. Cleveland played a lot of man against the Ravens, and a deep crossing route like this is hard to keep up with, hard to match up with, particularly with the big physical receiver like Andrews. And you're going to see Huntley do an excellent job leading him into the open area and gets a nice gain. He drags a couple guys for a couple extra yards and does a really good job. This next one is really an excellent read by Huntley. This is going to be an emptied out 3x2. And you're going to see Andrews at the bottom of the screen. He's the first receiver on the 3-man side. Okay. And what they do is they try to run a change-up zone here. This is going to get complicated. It's only a 4-man rush. But what they do is they make a mistake. The middle linebacker goes to the 2-man side. Huntley sees this, and you can see there's a huge void in this zone. This is a pretty tough defense to throw the ball against, but they went to the wrong side, did the middle linebacker. He went to the 2-man side. Excellent job by Andrews stopping him, Huntley getting the ball off, and you get a nice gain down the field. Again, a very good read against a more complicated defense. And now this one was really nice. You're going to see what looks like 2 deep coverage on the top. He's got Bateman at the top of the screen, about 35 yards out. And watch what happens. The free safety at the last minute jumps down. Now Huntley knows immediately, I've got one-on-one with Bateman at the top and with no help by a safety. So he immediately goes there, throws kind of a back shoulder throw. Great catch. And again, this really should have been a touchdown. I thought this should have been ruled a touchdown. You know, in the difference in a close game like this, you never know what's going to happen. But the fact that Huntley was able to recognize the true one-on-one coverage with no help over the top at all, and Bateman making a nice back shoulder, over-the-shoulder grab, which in my opinion should have been a touchdown. And then finally, again, we've seen this kind of throw multiple times by Lamar. It's a 3-by-1 alignment. Again, Andrews is the first receiver at the bottom in the 3-man side. Now, they're playing a passive zone, is Cleveland, but the linebacker doesn't carry Andrews far enough, and the free safety, Huntley must have done a good job of holding the free safety a little bit because he's got no work, as we used to say. There's no one coming into his zone. He should have worked over much quicker to Andrews, but I think Huntley probably held him with his eyes, and again, throws it at the back of the end zone, touchdown, and we've seen this throw from Lamar to Andrews many times. So all in all, I thought it was an excellent effort by Huntley, and he did some excellent things against some tougher reads by the Cleveland Brown defense. Now, coming down the stretch here, gets to be pretty tough with the Packers, at the Bengals, the Rams, and the Steelers. But the good news is 3 of the 4 are at home for the Ravens, and the way they're able to stay relevant in every game, work back, they're never out of a game. They've got to feel back like no matter what happens, we can get back into this. That's going to serve them well going down this last 4 games of the season.